All right, welcome everyone to Reach for the Sky with Rapunzel for the Davis County Public Library. My name is Miss Taryn, and I am coming to you from Davis County Public Library, and we are bringing a very special guest to you today that you'll get to meet in just a couple of seconds. In addition to our live program today, we've also prepared some exciting take-home kits that you can come by the library or call through our curbside delivery service to pick up. You can make your own Tangled inspired lantern or your own slime. So our special guest is from Adventures Untold Entertainment, and her name is Tower Princess. All right, everybody, welcome Tower Princess.
Hi, I am so excited to be celebrating fall break with you guys. I traveled all this way from Corona, and I would love to talk about some of the things that you guys get to do for fall break. I noticed so many wonderful things. I don't know if you know this, but I'm traditionally from Germany, and we experience a lot of Oktoberfest, and so there's a lot of festivals and parties. And of course, with the pandemic, we're not doing a lot of that right now unless we're social distancing. But I've noticed leaves changing colors, so many pumpkin patches. I think I passed a couple of orchards on the way. Just so many things. And then, of course, all of the wonderful crafts and activities that you can do here from the library, the books that you can read, and the adventures you can go on from those books. I have actually brought a few books to read with you all here today. Would you like to do some pre-story stretches with me so that we can get some of our sillies out? I think I'm going to. So I'm going to start with the star pose. I think you guys remember this from my movie. Do you remember this? So let's squeeze our hands together and we're going to stretch them out, and then let's release our fists so that our fingers are stretching out too. And let's all lean this way. If you have really long hair, you may want to put it behind you. That helps, okay? So we're going to stretch our arms out and we're going to go this way. Oh, that felt good. And now I'm going to hold my hair for this one. And then we're going to go this way. Okay, let's go back to the star. Great. Can anybody stretch up with one hand? And I'm going to switch hands and stretch up. And then if you feel like you have a lot of energy, maybe you want to shuffle your feet a little bit. Okay. I am going to take a seat, and you may have heard of this book before. It is a magical book, and it has magical creatures. Let's see. So the book is called Magical Creatures, and you may recognize some of these creatures. We'll see what we can find. Oh, there's a unicorn, and unicorns leave sparkly trails showing off their shimmery tails. Oh, there's a witch. She loves her slimy green hair. And then
ogre may give you a scare.
Phoenix. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Phoenix bursts into flames, red and hot. See candy corn. Goblin. Ooh. Goblin loves treasures and steals a lot. Mermaid. I know a story about a mermaid. Sunbathes happy and free. Poseidon is the king of the sea. Genie lives in a magic lamp. Chinese dragon dances with a swoosh and a stamp. Oh, look at the fairies. They twirl and flutter their wings. Look, she has a loofah for hair, and I think she has cotton candy hair. Leprechaun is known for the joy he brings. I wonder if I could do an Irish accent. I'm not very good at those. Can you do an Irish accent? I want to hear it. Yeti lives in a palace of snow. Wizard twirls his wand to make it glow, like my hair. Giant is as big as can be. Gnome doesn't even come up to his knee or his ankle. Loch Ness Monster is hard to find, and Cupid is caring, loving, and kind. Dragon can swoop and soar for days, lighting up the sky with a fiery blaze. I think that we might be able to think of some more stretches to go along with some of those magical creatures. Let's see. Let's go back to the phoenix. That kind of makes me think of our star pose that we started with. Let's see. So let's do it more like a phoenix. So we're going to burst into flames, red and hot. And can you fly around like a phoenix? Can you do that? I wonder if you're flying around your living room right now on fire. Don't do it for real, okay? It's not a good idea. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. Let's see. Mermaid sunbathes happy and free. Oh, you might lay on the couch. You can have your mermaid hair. Oh, you can brush your mermaid hair like Ariel did. That would be beautiful. Let's see. Chinese dragon. That one is fun. Do you know that Mulan loves the dragon dance? It's one of her favorite things to do, and every time I see her, she does it. Chinese dragon. Let's see if we have another book. I'd love to sit down and read the Paperback Princess to you guys. All right. The Paperback Princess, and this is a story by Robert Munsch. Elizabeth was a beautiful princess. She lived in a castle and had expensive princess clothes. She was going to marry a prince named Ronald. What do you think of Ronald? He has a tennis racket right there. His shoes look kind of different, don't they? But she is definitely in love. Unfortunately, a dragon smashed her castle, burned all of her clothes with his fiery breath, and carried off Prince Ronald. Oh my goodness. Do you see Prince Ronald there with his tennis racket? And the dragon is smitten. She's happy that she took the prince off. Elizabeth, oh, she looks mad, decided to chase the dragon and get Ronald back. She looked everywhere for something to wear, but the only thing she could find that was not burnt was a paper bag. So she put it on and followed the dragon. He was easy to follow because he left a trail of burnt forest and horses' bones. Finally, Elizabeth came to a cave with a large door that had a huge knocker on it. She took hold of the knocker and banged on the door. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Well, a princess. I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." He slammed the door so fast that Elizabeth almost got her nose caught. My goodness. Elizabeth grabbed the knocker and banged the door again. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Go away! I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." "Wait!" shouted Elizabeth. "Is it true that you are the smartest and fiercest dragon in the whole world?" "Yes," said the dragon. "Is it true," said Elizabeth, "that you can burn up 10 forests with your fiery breath?" "Oh, yes," said the dragon, and he took a huge deep breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 50 forests. Look at all that. Ooh. "Fantastic," said Elizabeth, and the dragon took another huge breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 100 forests. "Magnificent," said Elizabeth, and the dragon took another huge breath, but this time nothing came out. The dragon didn't even have enough fire left to cook a meatball. Elizabeth said, "Dragon, is it true that you can fly around the world in just 10 seconds?" "Why, yes," said the dragon, and jumped up and flew all the way around the world in just 10 seconds. He was very tired when he got back, but Elizabeth shouted, "Fantastic! Do it again." Do you guys have an idea of what she's doing? So the dragon jumped up and flew around the whole world in just 20 seconds. When he got back, he was too tired to talk, and he laid down and went straight to sleep. What's she gonna do? Elizabeth whispered very softly, "Hey, dragon." The dragon didn't move at all. He lifted up his dragon's ear. She lifted up his dragon's ear and put her head right inside and shouted as loud as she could, "Hey, dragon!" The dragon was so tired, he didn't even move. Look who we can see in the corner. There's the prince. Elizabeth walked right over the dragon and opened the door to the cave. There was Prince Ronald. He looked at her and said, "Elizabeth, you are a mess. You smell like ashes, your hair is all tangled, and you are wearing a dirty old paper bag. Come back when you are dressed like a real princess." Can you believe he said that to her? "Ronald," Elizabeth said, "your clothes are really pretty, and your hair is very neat. You look like a real prince, but you are a bum." They didn't get married after all. But she still took a walk in the sunset, didn't she? Yeah. And that is the Paperback Princess. I have to say, I haven't met her, but she sounds like a pretty amazing person. I would never want to be friends with someone, or especially marry someone that talked like that. It's definitely not the things that you wear or the items that you own that matter. It took a lot of courage for her to beat that dragon for him. And who knows, he may not even be alive if she hadn't done that. So he was very lucky, and he didn't even say thank you. I would love to know what you all think of that story. Do you want to tell me about it? You can send me a comment on the live feed. Let's see what else we have here. You can. I have another story about sharing and caring, and it's about a few of my friends. and then I can tell you about how they're doing, okay? Sharing and caring. Oh, we know that a princess is smart, strong, and brave. But how is a princess supposed to behave? Now, every time I say princess, I'm actually going to change it. And I'm going to say prince and princess because I know that there's probably boys and girls out there. And it's important for all of us to know how to behave. So here we go. When you're a prince or princess, you can't just be royal. You must also be honest, respectful, and loyal. There are things you can do and words you can say, and your prince and princess friends will show you the way. Cinderella makes sure to think first of others. That's sweet. Merida helps to take care of her brothers. They were a handful, weren't they? Tiana keeps all her things tidy and neat. I love how everything looks so organized. She cleaned up not only after herself, but it looks like her customers because she's in her restaurant. Snow White always says please when she'd like a treat. Do you think she made some cookies for herself and the dwarves? Those look so yummy. Rapunzel takes turns while playing a game. Do you guys play hopscotch? I love playing that game. Pocahontas treats all of her friends the same. Belle says thank you for the beautiful dress. Merida says sorry when she makes a mess. Jasmine offers her seat to someone in need. And Milan answers the call when it's time to lead. She's so brave. Ariel cheers up a friend who is blue. Aurora greets others with, how do you do? Do you ever say that? Or do you just say hi? You could try saying, how do you do? To be like a princess or a prince, you must be polite all morning, afternoon, evening, and night. So how can you make all of your dreams come true? Follow your heart and say please and thank you. We visited quite a few of my friends in this book. Let's see. I know that Cinderella is so excited for autumn with all of the lovely pumpkins. She has the biggest pumpkin patch I have ever seen at her castle. And she has all different sizes and colors. And then Merida, I'm not sure what they're doing. I'll need to catch up with her. Tiana seems to be doing really well with her restaurant, and I'm so excited. Snow White, I know that she was taking a trip to visit the dwarves from her palace. I wonder if they're dressing up for Halloween. Let's see. Who else? Oh, Belle. Belle and the Beast turn the castle into a haunted castle because that's kind of what it looked like in the movie. And they love to turn it into a haunted castle for Halloween. And all of the kids from the village that Belle is from love to visit it. It's so much fun. Jasmine looks sweet visiting through her village, town. I'd love to know what some of you are doing with your fall break. Do you guys have any special things on your bucket list that you're excited to do or that you already have done? Do you have any pictures that you could share with me? I would love to hear from you. Let's see. we can, I think I need to do some more stretches. My legs are getting a little stiff. Let's get and so we will stand up here, and no matter what you have on, let's, instead of having our arms straight out, we'll kind of bring them down, and let's try to stretch our arms like they're going to grow into the earth. Stretching. And let's start spinning. I'm wondering how many of you have a dress on. And if your dress is spinning like mine, ooh, or if you're a superhero, maybe you have a cape on and you feel like it's flying in the wind. That would be so fun. I should get a cape. I think that sounds like a good idea. Maybe I can sew one when I get back to the castle with Eugene. Let's see. Stretch our legs. We haven't done that yet. So hands on your hips, stretch our legs. Oh, we'll stretch one out and then kind of toward it. Perfect. Now we'll stretch out our other leg and toward it. Right. Let's see. I would love to sing part of the song with you guys. Is there a song that anyone would like to request? I'll give a couple of seconds just to see if anyone wants to say something about a song for me to sing. And if not, I have one in mind that I can sing. Let's see, there's so many good options. When Will My Life Begin? I guess if somebody really wanted me to, I could sing Let It Go, but Elsa might be mad later, so that's probably not a good idea. I just want to hear what you guys think. I'm excited to hear from you. Maybe you'll pick one. We'll give it just a couple more seconds here. I wonder if there are any Halloween songs that have been used. Not really sure. Can you think of any? I do have one song in mind, but I don't want for anyone to be sad if my hair doesn't glow. Okay, are you ready? Now gleam and glow, let your power shine. Make the clock reverse, and back what once was mine. Heal what has been hurt, change the fate's design. Save what has been lost, bring back what once was mine. What once was mine. I may have heard some other people singing with me. Maybe not. I'm pretty sure I did. Hope that you all liked that. I have one more book to read with you all. Would you like that? I'll read one more story, and then I'm sure that with this beautiful weather outside, there's a lot of people wanting to get outside and play, maybe go to a nature trail or park. So we'll read one more story, we'll do one last stretch, and then I hope you guys have all kinds of fun outside. So here's how the library, not the prince, saved Rapunzel. This is exciting. I haven't read this one before, so I'm excited to see what happens. On the 16th floor of a tall tower block sat Rapunzel, quite idle, whilst growing her locks. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, please let down your hair," called the milkman from down on the bottom stair. "The lift is not working, and the stairs are too steep. My asthma is bad, and my heart is too weak." But Rapunzel just sat. She didn't move. She had nowhere to go. She had nothing to prove. She just looked at the sky and she dreamed up a dream while the milkman went off in his float to sell grain. There he is, and there she is. It was later that day, much warmer than most, when the postman came round to deliver the post. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," called the postman from down on the bottom stair. "You've got a brown letter, looks like a bill. Shall I leave it down here on the windowsill?" It says, "To Rapunzel Curlytop, terribly tall towers, Jabberwocky way." Rapunzel just sat. She didn't blink. She had nothing to say. She had nothing to think. She looked out at the birds and started to frown. So the postman just left it and he went into town. When the sun was full blaze, just after lunch, the baker came round selling warm things to munch. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," called the baker from down on the bottom stair. "I've got a bad knee, but I'm not one to moan. Let me send up some bread and a hot buttered scone." That sounds yummy. But Rapunzel just sat. She didn't flinch. She wouldn't move, not even an inch. Not a sound was uttered, not a word was said. So the baker went back to her shop to sell bread. Now Rapunzel's aunt was the caring sort, and round about 4 some dinner she brought. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," called her aunt from down on the bottom stair. "I've made a fish pie for you to eat. I've wrapped it in tin foil to keep in the heat." Have you ever had a fish pie? I haven't. But Rapunzel just sat. She didn't stir. A statue wasn't as still as her. She just watched as the rain began to fall, while her aunt dashed off to the bingo hall. Now this story must have a prince, of course, and he showed up late, but not on a horse. With the wind in his hair and blowing his hooter, along came the prince on the back of a scooter. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, please let down your hair," called the prince from down on the bottom stair. He brought with him chocolates and roses red. He wore leather trousers and shades on his head. He was fancy. But Rapunzel just sat, as still as a wall. She didn't think much of her prince at all. She just stared and stared and stared at the rain, and the prince was never seen again. It was to be said, without lunch or dinner, Rapunzel was starting to get a bit thinner. There's all of her friends. "To leave her without any milk was mean," said the milkman on hearing Rapunzel was lean. "And I should have really delivered that letter." The postman felt guilty and wished she were better. "To think," said her aunt, that she was all alone on the 16th floor, thin as a bone. Rapunzel has patience. She doesn't move. She has nowhere to go. She has nothing to prove. But to sit on your own all day and dream, well, it's not really good for one's self-esteem. The milkman, the aunt, and all of her friends decided together to gather and make their amends. They climbed up the stairs, steady but sure, all the way up to the 16th floor, and burst through the door of Rapunzel's flat, where she sat alone with only her cats. They cooked her some supper, the first in weeks. It brought the roses back to her cheeks. The postman gave her the letter to read, and what happened next, you'd hardly believe. Rapunzel leapt up and shouted with glee, "I've got a new job at the library!" She skipped round the room and she started to groove. She had somewhere to go. She had something to prove. She went to the cupboard and brought out a spare. Then she fixed the lift in a ladylike manner. "Thank you, dear friends," she said. "I'm all right." So they all took the lift and she turned out the light. The following morning at 6 o'clock sharp, she jumped out of bed while it was still dark. She tied up her hair in a very long plait and pinned it under a bright purple hat. She put on a suit and a pair of smart shoes and ate a big breakfast while reading the news. Then she got in the lift and went down, 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 down to start her new job at the library in town. Everyone loved her. She sparkled all day. And life at the library continued this way. For along with her hair and her ravishing looks, she loved nothing better than reading good books. Now Rapunzel has changed, and it makes her wince to think that she used to just wait for a prince, that she used to just sit, that she didn't move, with nowhere to go and nothing to prove. For now, she reads 3 books every night under the beam of her bedside light. She can tell you the distance to the moon. She can do Scottish dancing and play the bassoon. She can speak in 4 languages, skip and play chess. She can knit tiny egg cups and cross-stitch a dress. She knows the difference between crows and rooks, and all because of library books. So don't just wait for your prince to show. He might turn up, but you never know. Pop down to your library and borrow a book. There's so much to find out if only you look. But don't just sit and wait and stare when there's more to life than growing your hair. Well, I have a new favorite book now. That was pretty adorable. That was so cute. I mean, look at her lovely red blocks. Those are so pretty. And all of the detail in the artwork. Did you all enjoy that? I love all of the animals everywhere. So what are you all going to do with the message of this story? Hopefully, going to get up and move around and live our lives and let our lives begin and not just wait for our prince or princess or knight in shining armor. to come and save us and make something happen. We have to make it happen. I'm so excited to have spent this time with you all today. I would love to get up and do another stretch and do a really, really good one this time. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna go back to our star pose. Stretch my hips out a little bit from sitting. If you've been sitting, you can stretch your hips too. We'll just move them from side to side. Go. Side to side with our hips. Great job. Then I'm going to move my arms out and let's go side to side with our arms. We haven't done that. And that's going to feel good from sitting in one spot and now you're moving your body around and getting all of that tense feeling out. Stretching. Sometimes, if you're not careful and you just keep moving, you might make yourself dizzy. So always make sure to find something to stare at so that you don't make yourself dizzy. And it helps you your balance so that you're not falling all over the place. So we're stretching. Okay, let's put our hands on our hips. Here. And let's make this difficult. And you do your hip this way, lift this foot, down. Hip this way, lift this foot, down. You see me? So we'll do our hip this way, lift this foot, down. And that's helping stretch and open your hips. Wonderful. I wonder if I could find a bag big enough to fit me, and I could make a paper bag dress like she did, and I could decorate it with items that I find in my house. Have you ever made a costume from things in your house? To see any pictures this fall? Are you still stretching with me? Let's keep stretching. So good. Is anybody yawning while they stretch? Did we already do nap time? I haven't had nap time today. I think it's too beautiful outside to have a nap time today. Okay, everybody hold your arms out and we'll take one big deep breath in and let it out really, really slow. And when you let it out, move your arms down, okay? That felt so good. It was so nice to be able to celebrate with you all today. I loved talking about the wonderful things that you all have to do here, like nature trails and pumpkin patches and orchards, and all of the great stories and adventures that we got to take while we were visiting. It was a wonderful time, and I really enjoyed spending it with you. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I hope to see you again soon.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Tower Princess. Had lots of fun singing and stretching and reading stories together. So if anyone does have questions, feel free to leave them on our Facebook, in our Facebook comments, and we can ask those to our princess and then she can answer them for you. But I have a question for you, and I think some others may have the same question. So I am wondering about how do you fix your hair so nicely every morning?
It takes a long time. When the song played in my movie, 7 a.m. usual morning, okay, that's not what time I wake up in the morning to do this, okay? No more. If I have to braid my hair, I have to get up probably around 3, sometimes 4, and it's a lot of brushing, lots and lots and lots of brushing.
All right. Well, yes, I can imagine with that much hair, you probably have quite a job ahead of you. All right. Well, if there are no other questions, I want to thank all of you for being here today with us. And I especially want to thank Tower Princess from Adventures Untold Entertainment. It was a joy having her here with us today. And everyone at home, thank you for tuning in. You can watch this stream after the live stream has ended. If you want to share it with your friends and family, you can share it on our page, share it on your page. And that is it. Thank you all so much. Bye.